not really sure what we got here, but this almost looks like a track. But see, let me get out of here. Alright, you got this right here, then you got a second indentation up here. To me, this is almost appearing to be possibly a bear track. Either way, it's slightly inconclusive to what it could be, because we have this here that looks humanoid, which is very rare in a bear track, that they have the shape of this arch, well, this indentation here, the curve, well, or other words, the instep. Then you got that up there, which almost looks like those could be toe impressions, because it's believed that a Sasquatch, their mid-tarsal break, I don't know, it would normally come back a little further. I don't know. It's totally inconclusive. Let you guys decide. But right here, up here, we're looking about 15, 16 inches, possibly. So if I had to put my, we'll see, if I put my foot next to it, which it's going to cast a shadow, which you won't be able to see it. I don't have my knife with me, but I want to show you that right there. Now, the other thing is too, I'm watching where I step. Some areas where I'm wearing boots, and my boots are leaving impressions in some areas. So we're going to continue to, we're going to look over here. I haven't really found anything exciting yet. I'm hoping I do. So we'll see. Stand by. Do keep in mind, I am watching very carefully, looking very carefully around on here on this muddy dirt road. I was all up through here looking for tracks, because to me it was a perfect place to look for tracks. But I'm going to continue to search. I mean, this area is like the perfect place to expose evidence. As I'm looking all over the ground here. As you see, there's a lot of loose shale here. Well, I was slightly disappointed in that one area I was just in. I mainly found just one possible track. It looked promising, but overall it was, to me, it was disappointing. Now, the road that I'm on here, this is I'm up on a ridge. This road here, it's separate from the main forest road, and up on the other end of this road, I've actually camped up here before, and there's some interesting things up here, and I decided to take a chance to ride up this way a little ways to check out a couple of the areas here. Through my years and times of spending time up here, I actually have found tracks further up this this ridge road. That's right, I call it a ridge road because you're on top of a ridge and you got ridges just north and south of you here. So it's a very interesting area, I will tell you that. But I'm out here enjoying nature. I'm enjoying it in general. It's beautiful. I mean, we got a breeze going on here on and off, but we're going to continue to scout the area. I mean, I'm going to enjoy my time out here, regardless if I find anything or not. I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm going to try to show you as much as possible. I mean, it's beautiful scenery, but stay tuned. As you see, all this water flowing right here, this is not normal. I mean, this is not part of the river. The river is actually on the other side over there. This is just how much rain and water we got in the area here, where a lot of the forest is still flooded and flowing real good here. But being the day that it is nice. A lot of the ground's still soft. I believe it's a good day to look for tracks, and that's why I'm out here. As I mentioned earlier, that's what I'm looking for. I was up on the Ridge Road, and after traveling so far up, I had to turn around because I was not trying to get stuck, because there was actually a couple big massive mud holes up there that I was not going to attempt to drive through with the vehicle that I have. Now I'm in a camp area where I've camped often before, and as you see, we got a big mud hole here. I always love coming into this area and looking for tracks, because tracks have been found in this very area. Anywhere in the surrounding area is good to look, because again, the ground is pretty well soft through here. And I'm going to tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is a serious area here. This area is very squatchy. And again, there's a lot of flooding in the area here. This back creek is so flooded, I mean, it's running down through here on the edge of the camp here. And right here, I don't know if you can tell through the camera here, but this area here was all on the water here at one point. I can see it's all been washed out right here. So overall, I will tell you, this specific area right here, this is like one of my favorite camping spots right here. Here's a fire pit we use. And it's normally dug out or dug down. So we're gonna go up here behind this camp here and check it out back here. Right here, we're looking about 14-15 inches right here easily. You can see the toes right up here. The big toe, for some reason, does not appear to be indented like the other toes are. But this is where the big toe is right here. You got 1, 2, 3, 4, and the little toe it appears to be kind of hard to make out. but there's no denying that this is a track. I feel safe on saying this is a squat track. Now, if this was a bear track, you would have more of a narrower heel, a little bit wider at the ball of the foot. Now, look at this area here, right where I'm kneeled down at as I'm talking into the camera. I'm actually pretty tall right here because there's some stone right here. It's real soft and sloppy right here. I'm going to raise the camera up so you can see the area here. I want you to take a look at something here. Excuse me while I adjust the camera. Now look right here. This here easily appears to be about a right foot. Okay. Over here, where another track would be, it's hard to make out, but it looks like we may have had where it stepped right there. Alright. I don't know. It looks like there's something right here, which it looks a little closer. If we move the debris away, it looks like, wait a minute, yeah. Look at this. Now, I don't see no toes in that, but that definitely appears to be part of a step or a partial track right here. Now right here, yeah, alright, that there is where I was standing. There appears to be some slippage right there. I don't know where that came from. Alright, there's another indentation right here, but that may have been from my boot as well. That's why I like paying attention to these areas. You never know. Now look over here. The ground right in this particular area, you got a lot of gravel right here. All right, then if you walk off, if you search the area, you go over here on the edge, it gets soft again. Wait a minute, look at this. You got an impression right there. We got, yeah, we might have more. See, that squatch may have been coming from over this direction. Might have been coming out of the woods and crossing through the camp here. We got an impression right there. Another one right there. We may have something going on here. They may have been in here fairly recently. That's why I'm going to continue to look around and see if I can come across any more. This is it looks very promising. This is very good, very good. And ladies and gentlemen, for the record, no, I did not cast that track. Why? Because I did not have plaster with me. My intentions were to come out here in the woods and explore, and if I find anything, awesome. I wasn't prepared to cast anything. I do have plaster, but I did not bring it with me. And if I find more tracks, I'm going to take pictures of them. I'll document them. But that was totally unexpected because so far all day up till now, I wasn't finding anything. Earlier when I was up on the ridge, yeah, I don't know if that was a track or not. I wasn't really sure what that was. To me, I found that a little inconclusive. Again, when I mentioned it was slightly disappointing. But that track that I just found, that's very similar to ones I found in this area before. So, being about the size that it is, if I had to estimate on the age of the subject, young squatch, I wouldn't say juvenile, but yet still young. You know, we estimated 6 to 7 foot, maybe at least 6 foot, 6.5 maybe. Because I'm about 6 foot tall, and I mean, as a human, I have a size 11. I wear, as far as shoes, I wear 11. Sometimes boots, I got to go to a size 12. So to kind of give you an idea if that's something you had, if you wanted to compare. All right. Well, again, like I said, I did not cast that track. I know some of you may be asking, and I'm giving you the answer, no, I did not cast that track. So, it's the way it goes. Again, I'm going to try to explore and watch and look the best I can and document what I find. We're going to go up here towards this ridge over here, and I haven't been up there in a while. We're going to see if there's any changes up there. Be cool if we find some cool stuff. So sometimes some of the stuff I find, I'll try to put them on the camera. I do have my phone with me because a lot of times I take pictures with my phone. So all right, this is awesome. The day's not totally disappointing yet. So we found a nice looking track. That's awesome. I had, you know, it's been, I can't remember the last time I actually really found a good track. It's been a long time, and I felt like I was overdue for that. I gotta watch my step here, going up this little embankment here. So yeah, that was a little exciting to find that. But anyway, yeah, I had to put on my hoodie. I had this vest on and a t-shirt, but tell you what, it's a little cool out here in these woods here on the elevation here. But yeah, let me get off here so I can focus, pay attention. If I come across anything else, I promise I will show it. I always show anything interesting that I find. Now, when it comes to structures are speculation. You know, if I believe it's something other than nature, I try to explain why I believe it may be so and why, or whatever. I try to give it, I try to give the best clear explanation as possible. So, but a lot of the down trees and the destruction around here, a lot of it is natural. People don't realize the difference, and I try my best to explain that and point that out. So, but let's get up here in the woods. All right, as I'm climbing this, going up this little hollow, I'm watching the ground here, and I'm actually finding and seeing whatever indentions. And I mean, you know, looking about this between the sides, it could be bear or could be a squatch, don't know, but I can see a disturbance in the ground, and some of them look, I don't know, they're large enough to be either a bear or a squatch, a young squatch. But this area here, I want to be careful. I don't want to be too loud as I approach this area, because as we get to the top, it gets a lot more interesting. Now, what do we got going on here? What the heck is this? 1, 2, 3, 4. They're all leaning up against this rotted tree right here. And then look at this right here. This surely does not look, this does not look natural. All this looks like it was laid there. And I'm not going to say, this is definitely not a bridge. Who in their right mind, again, who in their right mind will throw stuff right here, dead debris. Got a combination of different trees. We got, some of this is a pine, some of it's hardwood. Hold up, I just heard something up there. We might have something up here. We might. I heard something sound like a knock. And it's dead quiet. There's no wind going on right now. But again, look at this here. Got these leaning trees up against this here. That's very fascinating. And then we got all this right here. What for? I don't see the purpose of this. Was it a start to form some kind of shelter? It's not big enough for, I don't see a squatch going on there unless it was used for a hiding spot, like maybe a squatch threw their young under there to cover and hide it, to protect it. Was a bear forming a den? Because bears do this. Believe it or not, yes, bears will use fallen timber or debris and create a den. So that could be a possibility of this too. People don't realize that, or they don't think about those kind of things. So yeah, let's continue up here. We're going to go up here and then shoot to our left. I don't know, I have a good feeling. We may not find nothing, but it's worth checking out. I felt that it was necessary to do an aerial scan here. Because as I'm working this area, I am seeing some serious impressions. And when I say impressions, I'm talking about like within human size tracks. Meaning, in other words, Squatch tracks. Humanoid looking Squatch tracks. And I'm going to scan this area very slow. Because I've heard another possible knock in the area here. And I'm trying to be careful here. Try not to shake the camera. Because if there's anything in the area, if they mess up and slip up and move, be nice to catch them. Alright, right now I'm facing the direction that I want to head into. Starting to think that I'm not alone up here. Every time I'm walking, I'm taking my time walking in this direction really slow. And like every 3 to 5 minutes, I hear a crack. Somewhere up this way here. I don't know if it's just random limbs falling, or if there's something, or someone doing it. But something keeps stopping me in my tracks, making me stop and turn around and look. Now we know it goes up the ridge right here. It goes up here. Question is there or could there be something watching me and messing with me? And I will say that's a very good possibility. I'm not saying there is. But something keeps getting my attention to keep looking back this way. Okay, see now right now as I was paying attention, I heard a crack. And because there's a breeze, a couple trees swaying up there, I did see there's something that fell from the trees up above here. So maybe that's what I'm actually hearing. That may be what I'm hearing. The trees knocking together and dropping debris and limbs. That makes a little bit more sense. See, I just heard it again. Alright. I think we can safely say, okay, it's just the trees. Alright, let's move on. Like I said, I had to bring that to your attention. I had no idea. I kept hearing these cracks and knocks. And so far, yeah, it's disappointing, but we found out what it was. Nature. Alright, carry on. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I want to talk to you about structures. Bigfoot structures. Okay, a lot of you love to share photos with me. I get sent photos all the time. I get photos sent of sticks leaning up against trees, bent trees, bowed trees, broken off, twisted trees. All that's fine and dandy. And I've always posted pictures of some of the findings out here in the woods, that some of these structures or formations, some of them are very fascinating. And I mean, some of them are mind-blowing to me. I want to talk to you about structures real brief here. You're going to start seeing a decline on me showing structures and formations. There's a very good reason behind that, and I want to share that reason with you, and hopefully you'll start to consider this. There's a lot out here that nature is responsible for, and I know you've heard me repeat that. Right here in front of me, I'm not going to show you, I don't care if you believe it or not, but I'm going to show you right here. This stick right here, look at that. It was stuck at least 6-7 inches in the ground. Down. Did a Bigfoot do that? Look at right here, less than 7 feet from me. There's a down pine tree. Same tree. Exposed of the tree with no bark, all the way up, midway up. Part of the tip of the tree is broke off right there. Alright, this limb appears to be part of that tree. What happened when that tree fell over? Parts of it broke and debris. There's other parts of it. Parts come flying down. And they get stabbed in the ground. Ladies and gentlemen, there's something you got to understand. There are more, or I don't know, I got to be careful how I word this. There's way too many logical explanations, multiple logical explanations that we could easily rule out and pinpoint when it comes to structures formations. 99% of the Bigfoot community are assuming, or just whatever, out of the blue, randomly believing that Sasquatch is responsible for every bent and broken tree out here in the forest. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to ask you a question. What's wrong with you? I mean, I believe in Bigfoot. I'm more than a believer. I know that Bigfoot does exist. You need to understand that. I do know. I know for a fact that Bigfoot does exist. Alright? I was a knower long before I ever had an experience or an encounter. So, but ladies and gentlemen, we got to stand firm. We need to stay planted, keep our feet on the ground, think logically, think clearly, and think about nature. 99% of these structures out here, I could almost tell you how they got formed. Naturally. Over a period of time. Weather. A lot of bowed, bent trees. Some of them do get bent by all the wildlife. Bears are responsible for a lot of the bent trees. So is snow and ice. So is the sunlight. People don't realize over a period of time, a tree will stretch and bend towards the sun. Okay? That's normal. That's natural. People neglect that all the time. Why? Why don't people realize this? Maybe they don't know. That's why I'm sharing the information with you. Okay? There's a lot about the environment. There's a lot about the simple ecology that people don't understand. What is forming the structures and the formations that we come across out here all the time. 99%, I'm going to say it again, 99% of what we find out here was from a natural cause. Okay? I have come across numerous formations out here in the woods in various locations, in several areas. Okay? Where very few, I do believe, were made and formed by hands and something strong. You know, it takes time to look something over, to observe it, study it, look where it's planted from, look where it's uprooted from. There's a lot of different factors that you got to look at to consider what may have caused or formed the way it is formed. So, to a lot of you, I'm just a rambling fool. And a lot of you just want to continue that Bigfoot's responsible for everything that we come across. Fine, keep lying to yourself. Alright? Keep lying to yourself, keep listening to those who tell that lie. You're just lost in the whole world. So, I'm somebody that likes to keep, logic in everything I do. I'm not an expert, okay? Nobody's an expert here. But there is simple explanations that will tell us and explain to us what created what. If you share a picture with me, I'm going to give you my most logical explanation. I'm going to give you the most honest answer you'll probably ever get. So that's me about structures. That's about structures. All right. So, what do you have to say about that? All right, here, look at this. I want to show this fresh, very, very fresh rub. Apparently, here we are. We're about to enter this January. We're, you know, just a day or two away from January, and look at this. Bucks are still shedding their antlers, and the rut. A lot of people don't realize the rut started later than usual, and I'm going to tell you why. Temperatures play a key role in wildlife behavior and their patterns throughout the years. It's another thing people got to understand about wildlife. The weather and the temperatures play a key role in how they move and how they mate and how they, you know, etc., etc. So I find this very interesting. Look at that, a tree stabbed in the ground. You know what caused it? Look at the rest of it. Where it fell or broke off, or from the tree it broke off from, or the way it fell. Well, this here came from the tree next to it here. When it fell, yeah. This is natural, ladies and gentlemen. That's stabbed in the ground. Sasquatch did not do that. That's natural. When a lot of limbs and debris fall from above, they come flying down as a spear into the ground. I'm going to tell you what, there's a lot of deer droppings everywhere up here, and some of them are very large. I see deer activity all through here, scuffling in the ground. Yeah. You got deer hair. Looks like the part of the tail or the underbelly. That's all I see of it. I don't see no other remains. Perhaps this is where it first got attacked at. Maybe the rest of it's elsewhere. Maybe we'll come across it. Now here's something, you know, most likely it's natural, but this is a little something that I find interesting. Remember what I said about structures. I don't show too many of them, and like I said, 99% of them are from natural causes, creations, formations, from weather, so forth, etc. Enough said. But let me zoom in. When I find 2 or 3, usually twined together, that's I find interesting. And keep in mind, any structures or formations that I do show, I am not saying Sasquatch or Bigfoot is responsible for them. But take a look at what I'm slowly zooming in on. Again, I find this interesting. Right there, you see the three of them connected. Let me zoom out a little bit here. There we go. That, to me, is interesting. I like that. It's pretty cool looking. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I had me a nice hike. Found a few things. I was actually shocked that I came across a track earlier. It's been a long time since I found a track, and I don't know, just the area's flooded in some areas. There's other areas I really would like to get to. I'll just have to wait. You know, it depends on the movement. There's this time of year we've been getting a lot of cold weather, and I do believe that they mainly stay more on the higher ground, to be honest with you. They have areas where they stay bunked down at, and yeah, I do believe they move around. They got to come down to feed. You know, just from where I came from, you know, it's believed that squatches feed on deer or use deer as a food source, which I do believe that. There was numerous signs up on that ridge, tons of deer sign. You can see the deer impressions. However, I found several large impressions too. And I believe a lot of them could have been a combination of bear, because there was one specific impression that I decided to remove the debris, and actually you can see clearly that it was a bear track. Now the others, don't know. They could have been squatches. I don't know. So overall, I enjoyed this hike. I hope you enjoyed this video. I know I don't always show much like others do. So, but until next time, guys, keep it squatching.